He's just such a wonderful teacher. And we're all just trying to find our way, trying to navigate ourselves through this process of, how is it that you can live a healthy lifestyle? And how many of you, whenever you started the program, you basically were very desperate to lose weight, but yet you that's your primary reason for doing this program was I need to lose some weight. So basically, all of us were the same. We're all looking to lose weight. Well, how many of you that has a health coach? You heard your health coach say, "Hey, now this is a lifestyle program." How many of you had a health coach to tell you that? Well, yes. How many of you believed your health coach from the beginning that, or even heard her say, you may have heard her say it, but it just didn't really resonate in your deep down inside of who you are. You still had the diet mindset on your mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's sort of how it was for me. So I'm just sort of speaking from where I was at. So I wanted to really touch on motivation because I do believe we all have to be motivated to change something if we're going to change it. But in chapter 3 of the Habits of Health, Dr. Anderson talks about change. And two things that are, well, actually one thing that is very, very important for change is asking yourself, what do I want? Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. What do I want? And sometimes whenever you ask that question, do you find that it's very hard to answer? Mm-hmm. Because you got all these thoughts that's running through your head. It's like, well, I want to lose weight, but then I want to do this, but then I want to eat some pizza, or I want to be able to fit in these jeans that I wore back whenever I was 22, but I want to be able to eat ice cream with my kids when I go out to, it's like we've got all these things going through our head. So how do we get clarity with all this whenever we really want change? So one thing I noticed, or I was reading in Dr. Ray's Habits of Health, was there's only two motivation factors that causes us to want to change. Hey, Terry, glad to have you on.
Hi.
There's only two motivations. One is problem solving. How many of you have went to the doctor, you've had a health issue, maybe you've had high blood pressure, high sugar, cholesterol, and your doctor says you need to lose some weight. And so that is a problem solving change. Wouldn't you think? It's like, man, I've got to do something because my doctor told me that I need to lose weight. So that's a problem oriented mindset where you're trying to get rid of something. Okay. So is that fun? Is that ever fun? If we've got a problem, we're trying to get rid of it. And a lot of the times whenever we're trying to get rid of it, do you find that it keeps coming back and it comes back in different ways? Yeah. I'm just speaking for myself, and any of you can chime in anytime you want to. But then there's one more motivational factor, and that is having a what you desire. Like whenever I ask the question, what do I want? It's really desiring a certain outcome. So if you're desiring an outcome, does that mean that you're actually looking to create something versus trying to get rid of something? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just by thinking those two things, can you feel one that's being a little bit more stress on your body, and then the other one being a little bit more playful and fun and maybe creative? Mm-hmm. So anyway, Dr. Anderson talks about this creative process. So whenever your health coach said, hey, you're going to be on a lifestyle program, and you didn't even really hear what they said, lifestyle program, but this lifestyle is basically something that you're creating because it's very foreign to our world. Wouldn't you agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah, people know how to diet, right? They know how to try to restrict their food intake so that way they can lose weight. So that way maybe they can look in the mirror and go, "Wow, man, I like what I look like." But that only lasts for so long. And some people say willpower. How many of you have thought that it's all about willpower?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I have this much willpower, I can get there. You know, so, but if we're all truthful with ourselves, we know that willpower is something that never lasts, right? We get life gets in the way, and then the willpower sort of it's put over here to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, how many of you out there have been on a diet before?
I have.
Okay. How many of you enjoyed being on a diet? Oh, there's no hands. Well, wonder why. Is it because it's no fun? I didn't think it was fun. So with this, there were some things that Dr. Anderson talked about. Dr. Anderson said that in order for us to have motivation for change, that there's some, number one, we've got to think about, am I trying to get rid of something or am I trying to create something? So with this lifestyle, we choose to share with those that we get the opportunity of coaching, because there again, everybody on this screen is a client of the program. Okay? They've had to work past the problem-solving mindset of the diet into the creative side of the lifestyle. So there's no one exempt from this screen. Every one of us have been in the same place at the same time. So by following Dr. Anderson's, he said there's some things that's important whenever you're creating a lifestyle. It's like you had the support of your health coach. The health coach, everybody on the screen that has a health coach, has your health coach been a great support piece for you?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. And what's some of the things that the health coach, as a support piece, what have they been like? Name a few things that they've been for you while you've been on your journey, or maybe helped you with.
My whining.
Whining, cheerleader. What else?
Listening.
Giving great suggestions.
Yeah.
Okay. Suggestions.
Definitely getting you all set up right from the beginning.
Okay. Set up from the beginning. Yeah.
Believing I could do it when I didn't believe it myself, even for weeks in the program.
There you go. Belief is a big thing, because sometimes it's like, yeah. The coach is telling me all these good things, but I don't know. So
I think it's not the end of the world if you mess up a little bit. Don't throw it all away just because, you goof up a little.
exactly. These are all great. Yeah. So
You're checking in. Oh, I'm sorry. You're checking in always held us accountable too.
exactly. That's always a good one.
You aren't alone.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Debbie.
I think you've been a good listener, and I think a health coach that's a good listener is important, because sometimes when we're bouncing our things off of you, we inadvertently find out what the root of our problem is in being able to have someone listen to us.
Yeah, a really good listener. And don't you find that the world we live in today is there's a lot of people talking, but there's not as much listening going on. So yeah, listening is huge. And I had to learn that too, to really become a better listener. So yeah, all of these things that you shared has been it's so great to know that you have someone to come alongside you, to be able to share with you these qualities, these things that they can support you through the process, for you to be able to, number one, get out of the problem-solving mindset into the creative, desired outcome mindset. Okay? So, but there again, can the health coach carry your load?
No,
It's
she can only support.
Exactly. That's all they're supposed to do. They're actually to come alongside and just support you through this process. Now, one thing that, how many of you have very, very busy lifestyles?
I
I mean,
do.
you got a 9 to 5 job. You're maybe working Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, you may set that time aside to do something that you enjoy. I mean, I've been noticing that. Alyssa, did you get a new camera for Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, so see, I've been noticing she's really into photography, so I can tell that that's a passion of hers. She's a health coach, client on the program, but she's finding time probably throughout her work schedule and then her health coaching schedule, and she's finding time to take some pictures on the side to do something that she's very passionate about. So see, here we're trying to fit a lot of different things in through the week. And sometimes that itself can be a little exhausting, but yet at the same time, we've got to find some playtime within this busy life where we feel like everything's pulling on us. We've got to find time and be able to find space within that week to take the best care of ourselves, whether it be physically and mentally. And so that's why I wanted to touch on these few things. Dr. Anderson says there's a part that the health coach can give you, but there's also a part that we must give ourselves. And one thing he talked about was structuring your success. If you know that you're trying to create something, do you think that it's hard, or it can be hard if we look at it as an instant, I want it right now to happen?
You usually don't appreciate it if it's automatic.
Right. But our world we live in, it's sort of an instant pill kind of world. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So we have all this stuff thrown at us that this stuff needs to happen pretty rapidly. But it's like if we set out this structure about, okay, we know that on average we're going to lose about 10 pounds per month if we follow structure with this program. So if we structure our success and say if we need to lose about 50 pounds, you're looking at about 5 months, you're going to be able to get that weight off if you follow structure. So if you can sort of aim yourself to know that this is my goal, this is where I want to go, that's my part. I'm going to aim myself towards a goal that I want for me. Number 2 is, okay, I must have structural tension. First of all, I have to be true to myself to know, where am I today? And where's my aim at? Where am I going to go? Where am I going to get there? Now, what if you were to lose 30 pounds by 5 weeks? Are you supposed to spank yourself and be mad at yourself and say, I failed?
No.
No, we're supposed to get excited and cheer ourselves on for whatever success or whatever changes that we're making with, throughout whatever it is we're trying to create. So if we have an aim set that this is what I want to do, then the next part is very important, which is tracking your progress. Now, how many of you really track yourself and stay in check with yourself daily?
I do.
Yeah. Do you find that's real important?
Yes.
Because what if you don't track yourself? What happens?
I don't know. I've never not tracked myself.
That's wonderful. But sometimes can we get sort of like off on another lane, going in a different direction? You go, what's happening? What's happening? And then all of a sudden we wake up, and it may take a while for the smoke to clear, but then once it clears, you go, what am I doing on this road? I'm supposed to be over here. So it's really good to track yourself, and I would suggest tracking yourself daily, because there again, when we go off into our workplace, sometimes we find the pull, and there again, it's easy to get drifted. So really track your progress on what it is that you're doing. And the 4th one is, I find it's something that I think all of us, especially I think all women are on here, but women, being honest with ourselves, and I think in human beings in general, but being honest with ourselves. How many of you have been on the program and maybe you didn't follow the protocol all the way? It's like you got the 5-in-1 structure. You're supposed to eat 5 meal replacements, 1 lean and green, but you didn't follow it just exactly. And then whenever you check to see if something magically was going to happen whenever you stepped on the scales and it didn't, And then you started having this little voice come in your head and it's saying, oh, you can't do this. And then you get mad at yourself. But really, if you were honest with yourself, you could say, well, I wasn't really 100% on program. I only did it 75%. So I got the 75% results. So being honest with ourselves is probably one of the most important things you can do with the program. And you know what? It's okay. Whenever I heard Katie saying having someone to check in on you every week, with accountability, there again, as health coaches, we're not the food police. But it's where you get to go, well, look, I was stressed out at work. I had 3 Oreos and a few coworkers made me mad, and I went home and I cried all night, whatever it is. But we know that life gets in the way, right?
Right.
And stress comes, but it's okay. But it's being able to be open and transparent, because we've all dealt with things like this. And it's okay to say, hey, this is what I did, but that's only today that happened. Tomorrow's a new day. So be true to yourself. And this is a big one too that I find that many of us struggle with, the power of choice. How many of you on this screen know that you have a choice?
Oh, yeah.
How many of you may feel like, though, that you don't have a choice and you're just sort of locked into this place and you don't have a choice, but all you have really is you're trying to speak and tell people what's going on, or fuss about it or aggravated with it, but you don't really know that it's only a thought, that you just can change your thought just like that. Sometimes we get caught up in that web of the mind that we forget that we do have the power to choose. So the power of choice is huge. So, I wanted to touch on this tonight because I do believe here we are, we have a new year. We have people are motivated, but how does the motivation stay once we get into February? A lot of the times motivation starts out January the 1st, but then it leaves by what? The second week of January? Have you seen that? Or maybe by February? I know the gyms are always packed, but so what do you think? So what do you think causes that? Like
You let life or let excuses come in the way. You have to be determined and know that it's not just a diet. It is life altering.
Yes.
You have to make different choices. Even once you go off the 5-1 and you start getting into the other program, how are you going to make that transition and make it work? And how much of that are you going to pay attention to and watch how much you're eating? Because a lot of it's just plain portion control and paying attention to what you are eating. Yes, that's right. You get smarter along the way.
Yeah, you do. You sure do. You do get smarter, and that's the thing, is just not giving up on yourself. There was a few things that I wrote down here. With these things, that Dr. Anderson talks about, about our responsibility. First of all, though, we have to ask ourselves, when you agree, am I worth this life? I think sometimes whenever we measure ourselves, because I'm sure everybody on here is a giver to their family, to their friends, to whomever, that their coworkers, you give. But don't you agree that we need to give some of that to ourselves?
We're supposed to.
Yeah. And
sometimes
by doing that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We just sometimes have to make that time.
Yes. And I think whenever we're honest with ourselves and we do make that time, don't you think that we feel better about ourselves? It's sort of like a little medicine that it just gives you a little boost, where you just feel like you got a little bit more energy, and even like to even exercise. And you might not even wanted to exercise before, but whenever you are making a choice for yourself to do something better, then it's like, I don't know, there's a little bit of extra energy boost that comes with that.
Which in turn makes those around you happier too when you're not stressed.
I agree. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. So, you know, when you're happy, your family, it just sort of trickles on into your family. And, but I also have like a little video thing. So I'm glad I got Hannah here, but I want to show this because, you know, there again, I don't think any of us want to be filled with a bunch of motivation to try to pump you up and you know, persuade you to do anything. It has to be something that you really, really desire. And, you know, to keep the motivation going from January to December. Because there again, that's what change and the empowerment of change is really what keeps us to where we, you know, it can be ongoing into creating this lifestyle. So I'm going to show this video and I'll share my screen. Share screen. And then we'll go right here.
Every passing day is another chance to turn it all around.
Never believe a prediction that doesn't empower you. How many predictions have been thrown at you your whole life? If you believe predictions that do not empower you, you will wither away and die. Either physically die or your spirit will die as you just walk around the world like a carcass, just following the masses. You will be given a lot of titles in your life. You will be told so many different things. You must only listen to that which empowers you.
And see, it's not important how long you live. What's important is how you live.
The first thing I believe you got to do to turn yourself around is really take control of your mind. Or specifically, you got to feed and strengthen the mind.
Guess what? You're going to make some mistakes. So the person who's never made a mistake hasn't done anything. And you're going to make some mistakes if you want to do something out here. You're going to fall flat on your face. You're going to be criticized when you come out into the arena called life. You're going to feel awkward and stupid and dumb sometimes. It goes with the territory. But it's okay.
Take charge of your own life. Then walk away from the 95%. Don't go where they go. Don't do what they do. Don't talk like they talk. Develop you a whole new language. Don't use their vocabulary. Don't use their excuses. Once you look back on it, you will never turn back. You'll never go back to the old ways and the old language and the old neglect. Never.
Spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up. Discharge your duties faithfully and well. Step by step you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. But you build discipline by preparing for fast spurts. Slug it out 1 inch at a time, day by day. And at the end of the day, if you live long enough, most people get what they deserve.
So are you motivated? And that's the thing is it's daily work. It's not just today it's this way and then tomorrow, because we know that life happens, life gets in the way. But staying connected to your dreams, your goals, your program, your health coach, because we're all in this together and we're all getting up every day and we're having to ask ourselves these questions if we want something better today than we did yesterday. And when, you know, on that video, whenever it talks about the healthy mind, that's one thing that Dr. Anderson took it to a whole different level. He knew that the food, it's a tool, It's all it is a tool. It's just going to help you lose 10 pounds per month if you follow structure. But the healthy mind is also, we have to use this tool, the Habits of Health, plus your health coach sharing the things with you that they've learned to be able to move you to where you have that balance, so that way that you can be able to reach your goals of what it is that you want to create with Take Shape for Life. So I hope this has been helpful, because I do believe that it's learning together, growing together, sharing together, and being able to, discover things about yourself, discover things that you never knew that were possible. And I know there's many on here that have been in a place of what they thought was impossible, and now they see it's possible. So with that, now I wanted to sort of, since we got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 people on the screen, let's sort of go through, and those of you that's on the program, maybe share how much weight you've lost and how long it took you. We'll start with Alyssa at the bottom.
Okay. So I have been on the program since November 6th, and I started at 134. I dropped down to 121, and then Christmas came, and boy, did I indulge. And I gained a couple back. So now, after losing some again, I'm at 123.
So what was your total weight loss?
10 pounds so far.
20?
10.
10. Okay, good. That's awesome. And it's so great to know that you had a tool to get back on program after the holidays. Isn't that great to know that we've got that?
Mm-hmm. My Katie helped me.
Hey, it's great having a coach. All right, Terry, what about you?
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. I am down 44 pounds. I was so excited when I got on the scales Monday. I started, I believe it was August the 8th. Isn't that right, Lisa?
I believe so.
And so it's been a little bit more than 5 months, but I made it through the holidays. I did have about 2 to 3 weeks in there that I didn't lose anything. Of course, I splurged. I wasn't going to completely deprive myself because I knew those meals didn't own me, that I would be back on my plan. So I was okay with not losing even a pound. But just super excited to be where I'm at today and continue to move forward with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what about you, Miss Deborah?
I'm down.
Sorry, Deborah Queen.
Okay.
we got 3 Deborahs on.
It's popular. I'm down 40 pounds. I've been on about 3 months, or a little over 3 months, somewhere in there. The last couple of days, it's been the same weight. So I kind of work kind of an odd job where it's hard to sometimes get it every 2 hours or every 2 to 3 hours. So I have to play with mine all the time. But it's working, and I'm moving forward, looking forward to the next part of it.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. All right, Miss Debbie Ware.
Well, I started April 30th, and I reached my goal weight October 15th, and it was 47 pounds down. It's a lot more than I was planning on doing it, but I kind of like the downhill slide. So now I'm just staying there. I pretty much stay at my goal weight, which is 115, and so it's been interesting. Christmas went okay for me. Didn't get in all the skiing we wanted to because we're just getting our snow now. Now it's such a blizzard, can't even go out there. So I'm not running up my Fitbit very good. Nancy, you need to sit down. I was at work today and it came up and said, Nancy left me in the dust. And I thought, well, no wonder, I'm in a blizzard. But I really like the program, and it does work if you stay true to the program. And if you're not true to the program, like Lisa said, if you're only going to do it 75%, then that's probably the results you're going to get. But if you stay true to the program And even now in transition, I still really like my food. So I just enjoy it. It's just part of my lifestyle. I don't know. I don't think too much about it anymore. It's just so easy to use, and I love the convenience of it. It was exactly what I wanted in my life. While we're still working through our retirement, trying to get to the other side.
She's dancing more too, so.
Huh?
I said you're dancing a little bit more too, aren't you?
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, we like our dancing. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be dancing on skis pretty soon, but yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, Miss Becky, what about you?
Part of the program this past September was a year ago. I lost 20 pounds in 2 months. I pretty much kept them off of the, I mean, I fluctuate in 2 or 3 pounds, 4 pounds, back and forth. But it's, like everybody says, as long as you follow the program, it's easy. It really is easy. It's not where it's, I didn't really struggle with getting the weight off, simply because by the time I got to the program, I was so ready that nothing was going to keep me from losing. And so I followed it to the T, and even now I still, make sure, even when I don't have my meal replacements, I still do, the 100 calories, and I still, what Dr. A has in his book as far as the, what you're able to eat, the 100 calorie portions. And so I try to make sure that I stay within that. And, but then, I just keep doing it, and I enjoy it. I mean, it's the 6 meals a day are key to keeping your metabolism up and keeping your energy up and everything.
Yeah.
And I just got my Fitbit, so Nancy, I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I'm not yet, but I will. So.
These Fitbit, you see me, I'm in the background. I'm like, I don't know. No.
Well, it's
that's Fitbit. And she goes, so you got a Fitbit? And I said, yeah. And she goes, I said, well, where's yours? She goes, the battery's dead. I'm like, charge. Well, it's charged. I just got to put it on. I was like, oh, yeah, it's charged. And I'm going to be honest with you. I love my Fitbit because whenever someone calls me, it vibrates, so it lets me know that somebody's calling.
Yeah.
But I do love it for the other. But yeah, I need to get on there and compete with everybody else. Make myself.
Yeah,
I do.
Yes.
So I'm gonna get better. Hey, don't motivate me.
The one thing that I liked that really hit me the most about the program was the mental part. That is what has truly helped me the most, is learning to have a healthy mind. I mean, I've had a healthy background. I knew about losing weight and how to stay in shape and how to work out, and I had all that already in place. But the healthy mind is really what I was lacking in, and it's still something. It's an ongoing process. It's something that I'm not there yet. I still have my days where Lisa knows I have my moments, but they're fewer and farther between than what they used to be.
And that's what's important. There's growth there. So as long as there's growth, you're moving. So that's good. And then Katie. So Katie really didn't have to lose any weight. So Katie, hopefully you'll share a little bit more about what happened, like with you whenever you did start the program. But you did have a little weight loss, but.
I did. I had 9 pounds, but I was looking more for energy and better nutrition. I definitely wasn't eating right, so I got that burst of energy. So
See there again, it's really neat whenever you see someone that didn't really have to lose weight, but she was still struggling because of the structure of how she was eating. Is that what I hear you say?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, Miss Nancy, what about you?
I was also looking for some energy and
realized I wasn't eating correctly either, and ended up losing 22 pounds in just under 3 months. And that was, I think that was in May. And I've been going back and forth just between like maybe 3 or 4 pounds. So sticking with it. And I do find it easy, using the healthy snacks in the Habits of Health book in chapter 20, I think it is. Going through those and just eating the meal replacements that I buy each month for here and there.
Isn't it great we have that tool? You know, we have the Habits of Health to be able to. I had a girl today, she goes, you know, Dr. Anderson needs to come out with a exercise book. I said, look in your Habits of Health in the back. I said, there's even pictures that will show you that. Really? I didn't even know that was there. I said, yeah. I said, he's already covered his bases for sure. So yeah. So that's good. That's good. And what about you, Deborah?
About 3.5 years ago, I lost 77 pounds in 7 months, and then I had lost 10 pounds before that. So I had a total of 87. I never quite got way down to my goal that I didn't realize I had. And, you know, I had a, you know, like the 115 pound goal, but I never made it there. I made it to the 120, but I have gained. I've been a yo-yo. I'm not proud to admit that, but it's just the truth. And so I've kind of gone up and down in the past year. And yeah, basically I'm taking it one day at a time. I did start back on 5 and 1 4 days ago. And I'm not really measuring things, and maybe I need to, you know, weighing and measuring. I think I need to be more precise. I don't know on my amounts. Like I feel sometimes I'm eating too much meat, you know, just because I want it. You know, it's still that proportion control, you know, that I'm fighting, I think.
Yeah, I find sometimes too the scales and things like that can really put more. Yeah, I don't know. There's more thinking that comes with it. Where if you just follow structure, because I remember hearing.
No, I mean when I say weighing, I mean weighing my food,
weighing your meat and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I won't go on the scale. I know I've gained at least 20 pounds. I could tell by my clothes. So no, I've given up the scales probably 9 months ago. I'm fine. I'm so, oh my gosh, relieved.
Good. What about you, Hannah?
Which town? The first, let's see, I started the program back in 2006, 7, and I lost 20 pounds in about 8 weeks. It was super exciting. And then, you know, with this being your lifestyle, you go through different stages and phases in your life. And I ended up having a very healthy pregnancy. I gained about 43 pounds through my pregnancy, and I was able to lose that plus an extra 5. So with our Nursing Mothers program. So it's been a great journey. It makes me feel happy and healthy and excited and energetic, and it's wonderful. So
that's awesome. I started the program be 11 years. Well, it was 10 this past July, and I was looking to lose 25 whenever I started, but I was skeptical before I started. My husband started before I did, and then once he got on the program, lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks. I was hunting for his food, and he told me to order my own, so I did. But anyway, got on the program, 12 weeks, lost 40 pounds, and have maintained that since. So, you know, there again, I wasn't smart enough to know how to do this, so I had to trust Dr. Anderson to show me how to do it and allow my health coach to help me, because I was one of those people who didn't really want to ask for help. I thought I knew everything. So it's been really nice having someone to support you through the process and to be transparent too. So if you're not having a good day, you can really be able to, you know, just let it all out and let them guide you through the process. So that's what mine's been. Now, what about you, Shelley? Have you've been on the program, haven't you?
Yeah, I was, but I've kind of not necessarily stuck to it.
Okay.
So, like, Deb's been great trying to mentor me and coach me along. I think I just have a few other things that are prying for my attention, I guess. I don't know if that's the right thing. So just trying to get the mindset of where to start, what to start, and, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. There's just a lot on my plate right now, so it's a little hard to balance all of that.
I totally understand. And just know that you've got a support team here. Debbie, she's very passionate about, you know, sharing and just being there to guide you through the process. But just know that you've got a family here that also, we all support you as well. So, you know, it's always nice just, if anything, just to get the information, you know, so that way you can try to figure out what it is that you want for yourself.
And Shelley is a nurse. She's been a nurse for what, 25 years? You're so young. And she's been working at it. And she's one of the most caring, loving, giving nurses in the whole wide world. And I thought I was.
Well, nurses they are nurturing. Hell, I got a mom that's a nurse, so they will give for everybody else but them. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, she does.
So, but anyway, so has this been helpful?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, that's what we're doing. We're just sort of helping each other along and you know, sharing with each other, because these things help me as much as it does you. So that's why we do them. And just following along through the habits of health, so that way we can allow Dr. Anderson to guide us through this process. So is there anything anybody wants to share before we close, or have any questions? Because I know sometimes, and I was adding up, so far everyone that spoke, there was 326 pounds lost by everyone. I just added up all the numbers. So that's pretty exciting, isn't it?
That's cool.
Yeah, it really is. So, but is there anybody, I mean, do you have any questions or anything you'd like to ask?
I wanted to share something. I had sat with, I actually work in the medical field too. I work in surgery as a surgical tech. So one of the nurses that I work with, she's Italian, and I said, when I lose my 50 pounds, I said, I want to go out with you and have something to eat, because nobody here in my household eats, you know, fun food or whatever. So I was like, I was looking forward to that. So behind my coach's back, I didn't say anything in particular. I just said, hey, did you have a certain weight goal that you went to where you said, when I lose X amount of pounds, I'm going to have this special meal? And she says, well, you know, she says, I did something different. She says, I went out and bought workout clothes. She says, because I didn't want to get in the habit of treating myself with food and get back to my old habits. And I thought, doggone it, that made so much sense. So I've canceled my dinner date.
Oh, that's great.
And I shared it with her. So I thought that was pretty funny.
It is. I know. There again, it's that power of choice. You know, we don't.
Well, you know, and you do it so often without thinking, saying, yes, I deserve it, or I get it, or I've had a hard day. The heck with it. You know, I'm tired. I'm this, I'm that. And we make multiple excuses for what we do. This makes you a little more accountable.
Yeah, it really does. Well, that's good. And you know, I know for myself personally, and I think Hannah, I know she and I both, we took advantage of going, having a massage and pedicures and those kind of things, or, you know, buy a new purse, or, you know, a new outfit or something like that. So yeah, there's other options, but like you said, a lot of it's such habit that we just automatically go in that direction and go, I'm going to reward myself with food. And and there's nothing wrong, because I had a lady today, she said, do you ever go out and have pizza? And I go, well, yeah. I said, I can. I said, but it's like your why changes throughout the process. Whenever I started the program 10.5 years ago, my why was, I want to lose weight because I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel confident. I want to just look younger. I didn't want to look old, and that's what happened. And that sort of went on for a few years, but then it's like my why changed again. You know, your why changes throughout the whole process. Now my why is, I've got this little almost 6-month-old grandson. I want to get in the floor. I want to play with him. I want to have fun. I don't want to be where I can't play and where I'm grunting and moaning and I can't, get down. So, that's my why now. So your why will always change, but it's very important for you to have a why. Why do I want to do this? What do I want? Those kind of things. And then just know that why you will reach that place, but then create another why. Why do I want to keep why? Because now it's more or less, I want to tone and I want to, sculpt my body. That's another why, so there's different whys that come along. And there again, you have to know which area. There's the physical, there's the mental. And I think that's a continuous journey. I don't think you ever arrive. A diet mindset is we finally reach that place and then we're there. Well, a lifestyle is you're always looking for something a little bit better to better yourself. So, but anyway, but that, I think this has been great. And I mean, like I said, it's helped myself and I'll get to go back and listen to the recording and learn even more. So, is there any other questions or anything anybody wants to share before we close?
I was just going to add on to what you said or somebody said about the carbs and when you like the pizza. And I've done a million diets in my life and I've never really acknowledged or truly felt that when I went back to eating the old foods, I could literally feel terrible. Whereas with being on Take Shape Your Life, I think because it's such a healing food that the system welcomes these chemical compounds that you're putting in the body because these foods are different, they're medically formulated. I think that's what's caused the greatest transition for me from like, yeah, I do want to have a piece of pizza. I'm not going to lie, but I don't. But when I do, I immediately feel the difference either that night or the next day. And I honestly can't say that I've ever noticed that being on other diets. And that's why this program is not really a diet. And even though we're using foods to supplement, that some people will see it is a diet, but the foods are medically formulated. They do not hold a candle to any other food out there on the market. It is exactly what the body's chemistry is made for and wants and takes it in, and it heals the body or it stops problems that are, like I've had problems that have been going on and it stops them. It puts them to a halt, which is amazing.
You're right, Deborah, because I actually told this lady today, I said, well, what you need to do, because she only has 10 pounds to lose. I said, what you need to do is once you get to the place you want to get to, I said, take a day and go out and have pizza and eat as many pieces as you want with no kind of restrictions. And I said, tell me how you feel after you've eaten it. Mm-hmm. She goes, okay. And I told her, I said, and you will. She said, well, I know what you're talking about. So there again, I think that's an aha moment, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. The aha moment. So, but anyway, but I really do appreciate everyone being on and thank you for your, participation and sharing your insight with everyone, because there again, we're all in this together and been able to move forward. So just know this is available every Tuesday night at 7:00. We get together and then, anything that you want to talk about, please feel free to share that openly with us, because there again, whenever we discuss it, we can find solutions for it. And then, and that's what it's all about. So with that, we're going to close and then we're going to extend it on for the health coaching side. So, but I really appreciate everyone and I hope everyone has a great rest of this week and thanks again. So coaches, we'll see you in just a minute. Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye-bye.
See ya. So, hey guys, how's it going? Long time no see. So I wanted to just sort of touch on a little bit. I know last week we had our regional event. I know Katie and Nancy went to a regional event close to home. And can y'all share a little bit about that and what was your takeaways and how exciting it was?
Well, we it was held at a real estate